Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of RV Business Capital Talk, sponsored by Eric Sell. I'm Rick Kessler from RV Business, and with me, as always, Sherman Goldenberg from RV Business. And joining the two of us today, a man who needs no introduction to everyone, but we will anyway, and that's Andy Heck from Alpin Haus, with 3 stores in New York, 1 store in New Jersey. Andy, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, great to see you guys. Great to be here.
Nice to see you.
So Andy, let's, if you don't mind, let's start with kind of the big overhead picture of Alpin Haus. Give us the history, maybe describe what the business entails, because it's more than just RVs.
Sure. So we've been in business since 1964. My father and his childhood buddy, they were serial entrepreneurs. Started our business as a ski shop, actually. At that time, they were avid skiers. They were in their early 20s. And, from there grew into, took on RVs to sell some pop-up trailers in the summertime, and then some snowmobiles in the winter, and then we got into swimming pools and spas, and then later on into boats. So anything that kind of was recreational, kind of, especially in the Northeast, kind of keep the business cycle going year round, so to speak.
And you've got a hand in all these markets you just mentioned today.
Yes. So we have 4 RV stores, and we have two ski and pool stores that, they run, seasonally that way. And then a store that does sells boats and year round, but also snowmobiles in the wintertime.
Don't mean to be too intrusive, but what's your biggest market of those?
RVs definitely, for scale, but ski, it's more local for what we have in the Capital District of Albany, of the ski stores, and obviously smaller tickets. Although we do, on that side of the business with our pool construction, we install swimming pools through the summer, and those can be some bigger tickets, but on a project basis.
So Andy, you mentioned the 4 RV stores, Amsterdam, New York, of course, being one of them. The other 2 in New York, Saratoga and Port Jervis, and then Oak Ridge, New Jersey.
Correct.
We wanted to talk about the Port Jervis store in particular, because that's being replaced, from what we hear.
Yes, it's pretty exciting. We've been looking for years. We've been in that store since 2013. And so we're under construction right now. We have a brand new store going in just outside of Middletown, which is just over 20 miles from where Port Jervis is. So we were leasing there, and now we'll have a new 26,000 square foot facility, 12 service bays, right on 17 acres, right on the highway there. So we're excited, and it looks like we'll be in sometime early January. So it's just around the corner now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Silly question, but what prompted this move?
Well, we've been growing. It's in Orange County. Orange County, is a pretty populated county, downstate. Touches, a lot of the downstate, northern Jersey, even into, Long Island and Jersey. And so there's a lot of RVers, and just because of as you get more into the population and density down there, you have to come upstate more to get into the RV stores. So that store's been growing for us. We saw the opportunity, so thinking strategically long term. We've been looking for some land, and a few years ago we finally found some, and been working on putting that together for a couple of years now.
And the Port Jervis store, if I remember correctly from your notes anyway, 2 bays on 4 acres, and the new store is going to be 12 bays, 26,000 square feet on 17 acres. So that's quite a bit bigger.
Yeah. It just started off with pretty much just a towable store, and it's just grown. We're bursting at the seams, and we just know we've been holding ourselves back. And so it's one of those things, right? With what's going on with the economy, it's kind of scary. Like, well, you're building now, but we always take the long-term perspective, not the short-term. So it's the right strategic move long-term, so we're very excited about it.
What can you tell us about the state of the market in your area and for your store right now?
Sure. We've knock on wood, it's been a pretty good year for us. We've held our own. We're actually even in units for the year, so we've done a good job of maintaining volumes. But we have seen, kind of like I kind of expected, that once we got past kind of Labor Day, which is really the peak of our summer season, that it would probably maybe slow up based on what was happening. And we've seen that, this fall has been a lot slower than what we've seen in the last couple of years. So it's kind of as expected. But we still feel pretty good about it. We've got our inventory in shape. If this happened last year, we'd be a lot nervous. Everybody thought we were going over that cliff, right? And industry wide, definitely retail's been off for a couple of years. We've kind of, like I said, bucked the norm a little bit, but I feel good now because, like I said, at least our inventory is in good shape, for if we're in for the next, who knows, 3 to 6 months of maybe some a little bit soft as you get through the winter till maybe rates come down again next spring or summer.
One of the
What you- Yeah, go
that's
ahead.
impressive that you mentioned your volume is up there like compared to last year. Are you getting new buyers? Are you getting repeat buyers? Are your margins holding? Can you give us a little more detail, please?
It's a combination, just we've been, it's one of those deals that hasn't been like a lot of people. It's touch and go. It's like you have a good couple days, you're like, oh, it feels good. Then you have a couple slow days. Then you have a couple good days. It hasn't been that consistent rhythm all year. It started off with good shows through the year. And then, it seems like even in tough economies, we always have a good summer. The June, July is always good. It seems like no matter what in the Northeast. Even, I remember back 08, 09, it was still, even those summers was decent. It's the rest of the months, right? When they're not using them that they think about it. But we've seen, definitely some trade-ins, a lot of people that have them upgrading. We've had, some new buyers coming in for sure. Margins are definitely, it's competitive. It started out decent earlier in the year, but then obviously as all of us tried to get rid of 22s, and now as we've seen some relief on pricing for the towable side of it with 24s, it's that race to get your inventory in shape so that, that we all can be, go into the market with more competitive products, going forward.
Anything you can tell us about product trends within all this?
I think, we've seen, some of the higher end stuff has slowed up, for sure. So it's, the entry level and mid-price stuff is what's been selling for us. Still on the motorized side, Class Bs have had a pretty decent year overall. And so that's, that continues to be a trend nationwide. I mean, obviously you look at it like everybody's building Class Bs now, and it's amazing. But yeah, I think, that's what we're seeing at least.
The market in general, you're a smart guy. Where do you see it play? How do you see it playing out long term?
Long term, I think, the media always kind of scares us into crisis a little bit. They've been talking about it so long, but I think, every time you get the CNBC and all the networks report what's going on with the economy, they're all, the economists get on, they're baffled because consumers are spending money. I do think because of, interest rates have gone up so quick, whether it's any major purchase that's dictated by payments and interest rates, housing, everything's going to slow it up a little bit because of that, just because of affordability. We had inflation, but two, then you have a higher payment because of inflation and the rates. But I think if we can if truly now, if you hear that inflation's starting to get under control, and even if the prime doesn't drop, if the longer term rates drop where our customers borrow at, coupled with some deflation on the 24 product, I think we could be in for a good, back half of 24 for our industry. Okay. The motorized may be more of a challenge, but then again, some of those customers, they're cash buyers. They made their money. They've retained their money during the last few years. So who knows what will happen there and whether we'll ever see any of that relief in pricing on the motorized or not. That's what remains to be seen, I guess.
So Andy, are you planning your business for next year with a slight uptick or flat, or where are you projecting your business?
Well, we kind of, in the back of our mind, we're looking at it, the first quarter is going to be tough, and then we'll see from there. So, maybe flat to maybe slightly up, depending on where the market is. But we kind of always look at it on a rolling 90-day to 120-day basis, and we just keep adjusting accordingly to, current information so that we can make the best decision, and go from there. And I think that's, and every month we're looking at that. We're looking at our trends. Where's our inventory at? And do we need to put on the brakes, or we need to accelerate a little bit and keep getting stuff in the pipeline or slow it up?
You've always been an activist, or at least have been for some years, in a priority RV network. Is it still the case?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm still on the board with the network. It's doing great. We have a great bunch of dealers, a lot of great programs, a lot of great vendor partners. It's going very well.
Rick, where else you want to take this guy?
Well, maybe this could be our final question, but as we're recording this, next week is the RV Dealers Convention Expo. Andy, of course, will be going. We'll be there. We'll see you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are some of the fun stuff that you look forward to for that convention?
I think for me, it's always, it's become a big networking thing for us. Education is important for some of our managers that don't get exposed to some of that, but then really, we bring mostly senior managers now. And so they're able to network both with the dealers, but especially at the expo and vendor partners, where you have time, when you go to open house and that, it's just, it's difficult because you're looking at product and you're going from one display to the next, and everybody's kind of captive in those other events. And this is that one industry event where I think we all get a chance to really see what's going on, talk about things outside of work, but also to actually talk about, things that are going on in industry. So I think that's what's really special about it.
Very good. Sherman?
I think I've done it, if you have as well.
Yeah. Andy, thank you again very much for your time. Hey, we're going to see you next week. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys and everybody else.
You take care, man.